Hello, hello, and welcome. This is Maggie, your fearless marketing coach. And today I have an amazing opportunity to host another episode of Maggie's Expert Lounge. And if you are not familiar to this concept, Maggie's Expert Lounge is basically a networking, our internal networking platform. My big vision is that everybody in this group is a friend at some level, and we know to whom to go, who to approach, who to reach out for, if we have a very specific issue or dream or desire. So today, I have a pleasure to host Agnieszka Burban, who is my fellow colleague from a group. Actually, we were writing together a book earlier this year. We co-authored an amazing book who became a bestseller. And Agnieszka is a relationship expert. She's working with women over 30, and I'm sure that she will introduce herself with a lot of juicy details. But today we will be talking about love, about relationship, about men, about all these archetypes that surround us, and sometimes we try to follow and sometimes we try to fight with them. So over to you, Agnieszka. Welcome.
Thank you, Maggie, so much, and hello to everybody here. Yes. Yes, I am Agnieszka. I'm a relationship expert for single women over 30, which means that in reality, my followers, clients, or students are usually around my age group. I'm in my 40s, so it could be someone in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and even above. What should I say? Well, I'm a writer like Maggie. We published the book. My background is in psychotherapy. In a way, I come from two countries. I feel like I come from two countries. I was born in Poland, and then I moved to London, and I've got most of my higher education from London. So half my heart is actually in England. The roots are in Poland, but I live in Sweden with a German guy.
It's a really puzzle.
Yeah, so, frankly, I don't feel like I have got a set national identity. I really don't. So yes, I live in Sweden, and I solely focus on relationship work and solely with women. Why I do what I do, I think you wanted to ask me that question, I guess, Maggie. So
Yes,
I don't know whether this is the right time or not.
Partly, I know this story from the book, but very juicy, and really I want you to share it. How did you become the relationship expert?
Yeah, do you know what I've always dreamt, the biggest underlying dream for me has always been, I want to be in a happy relationship with my man.
As everybody.
Yes, I'm a typical girl, and I just had this dream, and it was just not happening for a long time. So, I had a lot of external success always. Super girl, right? I did 3 degrees in London. By the way, I don't know why I did so many, pointless, but I had a career. I had several really good jobs in London, in really prestigious institutions, and my training in psychotherapies in this, the best European institute and all that. And I always craved this kind of external success, partly because I wanted probably approval, Yeah.
External approval.
External approval. I didn't have that approval from my dad and my mom. So, but that story is a side story. But I never, it seemed like I had everything. I had all these wonderful jobs. I had money. I was well traveled. I've been all over the world, but I was never happy in love. Never. I was very anxious in my relationships, very unfulfilled, very lonely, and I never had safety.
Oh.
I never had safety. I didn't feel safe and secure in my relationships. So I would usually meet men who wouldn't put me first. It's not enough to say wouldn't put me first. They wouldn't put me second or third either.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes. You mentioned that you had similar experiences in the past, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had my first husband, but I think that, everybody is collecting the experiences.
Yeah.
And the best thing is when we really learn from the experiences, and we are not like a donkey who is pushing his head against some obstacles, expecting the same results. And I'm always very, very sad when I see this, people, men usually, but sometimes also women, who have a fourth, fifth husband, not even relationship, but a husband, and they are still unhappy.
Yeah, tell me about it. I live in Sweden. I think we've got one of the highest rates of divorce
Right.
in the world.
Women.
Yeah. It's so true. Yeah. Would you like me to actually go back a little bit and tell the ladies how
Yes.
get to the point, the juicy point, because I think they might want to actually know the juicy point. And maybe, I don't know, ladies, whoever is listening on replay or live, for me, the biggest challenge was with men used to be that whenever I actually needed that man to be by my side, because there was something really challenging happening in my life. So a lot of stress at work, or, at uni, or I was ill, for example, they would just pull away from me. They would routinely pull away from me. They wouldn't be there. They would disappear. And that kept repeating itself over and over and over and over again. So I developed this belief that men can't give me what I want. So I have to kind of, over deliver, everything.
Other fulfillment.
Yes.
I had a slightly different, experience. I attracted the men who were needy.
Yes.
So type of a boy, I would say. Child.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Another child.
Yes. To look after, right?
Yes. And obviously, that was I took this role.
Yeah.
I took this role. I decoded the situation in such a way. So I started to take care, to drag him through the life. So he is more responsible. So he is more self-dependent, independent, because he was codependent on me, like hanging on me.
Yeah.
And it was so heavy because I was really dragging the man. I had a little baby and a grown-up baby. It was enough at some point.
Wow, this is so interesting. And it actually comes up for a lot of women who would describe themselves as strong, independent women, right?
Yes. But I think that this is also coming from our belief, and by our, I mean strong, independent women, that things absolutely need to happen the way we want them. We have this, image of something, and it has to happen exactly the way you want it, in the time you want it, by the person you want it. And if it doesn't happen, then you are frustrated, you are shouting, you are nervous, you are angry. I think that I was angry. Most of my first marriage, I was really angry. Not so much sad, but tired and angry.
I can so relate. Yes. Angry. Yes, totally.
So that frustration, but I learned a lot. So tell me about the love story, because
the love story. So actually, the prequel to the love story is that when I got to my 40s, I actually thought I found the one. I found a man who I really thought was a soulmate. And by then, I would watch relationship coaches like Rory Ray or others, and I knew that love existed, and I thought, oh, I know it all, right?
Yes.
I was even giving women advice on love. Little did I know that I really had no idea and what was, ahead of me. So I met this Swedish guy, and after 1 year, we knew we wanted to be together. So there was no way of us, that we would be in different countries. So after 1 year of flying between London and Sweden, 1 year, I moved in with him, and I moved to Sweden. That's why I'm in Sweden. But it took literally 8 months, and everything fell apart. So I had to find a new home. I gave up on my career in London, so I practically had next to no money. My online business was, at a, really like
Early stages.
very early stages. So I had no private clients, and I used actually my tax. I saved some money for tax. So I used that money to rent a teeny tiny flat here in Linköping in Sweden. And and I was in this post-breakup stage. I was depressed. I'm like, okay, what am I doing here? I'm not going back to London. But I did go back to London to an event. I was visiting friends, and one day I went to an event organized by a relationship guru. She's very famous. She's called Catherine Woodward Thomas, and she organized the event. Shortly after this event, I signed up to Catherine's training to become, it's called Calling in the One Coach. It's basically training to become a love expert. Love expert. So, of course, I was thinking about, that's my mission. That's what I want to help people with. But deep down, of course, I wanted to fix my own self, right?
Sure. And it's always weird when the relationship coach helps people, but in her own life or in his own life, not everything is, in order.
Yes.
This is like,
yes.
I don't know, the dietitian who has obesity.
Exactly. Funny thing is, Maggie, that, once I started to work with Catherine, and it was really intense, deep, in-depth training for a few months, I was single for a long time because I was so focused on the training. But I had this intention that I would find the one by the end of the year. So I started the training in August, and then it was, getting close to the end of the year. And oh, bugger, I still haven't got the one. But I was so scared to upload Tinder or anything. I was terrified. So if anybody here...
Also, these applications are so weird. Right now, I don't use them, but I got single. I was, I think, about 40 as well.
Yeah.
And I wasn't looking for anybody. I was still, although the online dating started to show up, I still believe that I will find my man in the real life.
Yeah. I'm curious now how you found your one. Did you have to download an app?
He found me, actually.
He found you. Okay.
I allowed him, I allowed him to be found. He spotted me, and he spotted me on day one at the work. We were working together but separately in separate departments. So he spotted me on the first day, and I was not interested at all.
Wow. Not
interested. His physicality, the way he spoke, he was annoying for me. Really annoying. But slowly but surely, this is the type of a man who, when he wants something, he will get it. So he was just doing everything he could to show his best qualities, and his best qualities are he is there. he is there just for you, not because you are pretty, you are smart, you are funny. It's because you are you, and you are enough, for you are the best for him, basically.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So we started to work together, and he saw me in a business situations. He saw me how powerful, how strong I am in business. It was back in my corporate time. And he saw me how vulnerable I am in my private life.
Mm.
And,
Mm.
so he became sort of the, I don't want to say survivor, because I didn't need to be, saved.
Yeah.
Not survivor, savior.
Yeah.
So he wasn't my savior, but he became my companion,
Yeah.
for good and bad, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it took him 18 months for me to say, I can give it a try.
He
Not
worked
I want,
hard.
I
He
will try. 18 months. 18.
This is such a beautiful example. This is such a beautiful example because it shows that, we don't need to be afraid. If a man is really, really determined and he really wants to approach you and be with you, he will not give up.
No. And I think that, what was very important, and that was very different from my previous relationship, that I felt completely myself. I didn't need to wear any masks. I was beautiful without makeup. When I was waking up in the morning, like completely.
Yeah.
And I felt absolutely
Exactly.
adored and beautiful.
Yeah.
And when I was sick, he was there. He was there whenever I needed him. But I was completely detached. And I think that this detachment was,
Oh, yes.
I
Right.
didn't have to prove myself. I was
Yes.
just myself without any masks,
Mm.
any, pretending that I'm better, I'm more of
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Pardon me, my dog is snoring.
Oh, bless him.
Probably can hear him.
Oh, doesn't bother me at all. That's beautiful. That's such a beautiful example.
And I think that he showed me that I could be in this relationship, I could be completely free, and I could be who I am. And on top of everything that I have, I can have this one little extra, which is a company.
Yeah.
Company for fun, for pleasure. So I decided that, I can give it a try. I can start being with this man because it's fun in a good way.
Yes.
Really, he's pleasant to be around.
Yeah.
I feel very womanly, feminine,
Yeah.
He is this type of a
Yes.
guy who will open the door, who will wait for you,
Oh, I love that.
who will carry everything that you carry, except your personal bag.
It's too feminine.
No. I mean, the
And
bag,
it's too pink. It's too
bag is
sparkly.
mine. Whenever we do shopping, and I had to really learn to drop this. I was brought in the family where everything was like women were carrying heavy bags,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
my mother taught me this as well. So when we were doing the first time shopping, I was like, lifting all the heavy bags.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's hilarious.
I needed that. I needed, like, physically, I needed that. And he knew that I will be very upset because I will be pushed over and I will feel like less, So his way of like finding the solution for that was to give me the bag of actually toilet paper, like super light, Okay, carry that.
If you must,
Carry
if you
that.
must carry something, carry this. Yeah.
So slowly, I had to
Wow.
unlearn
Yes.
all the behaviors that
Yes.
I was carrying from my home,
Yeah.
from my
Yeah.
family. And now, for instance, whenever we travel, he is the mule who takes everything. My lovable mule.
Yeah.
I take care of the documents. So I take passports, the travel itinerary, all the logistics. But he carry the bags.
He
Drives.
carries the heavy stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he's responsible for the transport. So right now, the story that I always tell to my friends, because all my girlfriends say, you are so lucky with him. I said, yeah, I'm lucky, but he's lucky too.
Of course.
You need two to tango.
Yeah.
And the metaphor that I'm using is that we are co-pilots of a big jumbo jet. And we can have fun together, flying this, maneuvering this jumbo jet and having like really pleasure flight. Sometimes we have really heavy stuff that needs to, uplift or heavy maneuvers. It takes two to go through this heavy stuff. And we both need to sit firmly at the gear.
Yeah.
But at the time, one of us, or sometimes even both of us, we can relax and we can just go, right? So there are points in our life where each of us know that there is another co-pilot.
Yeah.
And we just, obviously we need to communicate. So we announce, now everything is on you.
Yeah.
I need my time. I need to relax. I'm sick. I have my business. Something is going on. So you take responsibility of everything else.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's him. Sometimes it's me.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we know that we are not codependent. We are completely free.
Yeah.
And we are completely happy. And we are complete. Each of us is complete. We don't need another person to complete us. This is the total bullshit, I think, that people tell us, oh, you complete me. No, you are complete before, or you should be complete.
Totally. Do you know, Maggie, what I say? It's interesting, like how you describe it, like you complete me, sometimes people say, which I don't think is the right way. I always say that my partner is like a rainbow in my life. So my life is colorful, a wonderful, it's like a bonus.
Yes, it is a bonus.
Yeah, it's like a bonus. And why would we give up on that bonus, right? We can have that rainbow.
My best friend couldn't understand. I mean, why do you say you have a man for pleasure? This is what I have him for, and this is what he has me for. It doesn't mean he's my sex toy.
Yeah.
He's there to amuse me. He's there to spend best time with me. To have fun together. And I think that this is the biggest mind shift that I made, to allow myself for this, to receive this joy, because he was there offering only pleasure, fun, and joy. But previously I associated that with the archetype of a boy who is not there for you if you need him,
Yeah, and you do all the hard work, right? Because he's a boy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was hard in the beginning to adjust to it, but I decided I give it a try. I decided to test the waters.
Yeah.
And I even had to to learn to be completely spontaneous, because I was always planning, and I needed to be prepared.
Structured.
And all of a sudden, we are just taking motorcycles and we just go. And I don't know where we will be, which direction, or where we'll be sleeping. It was like, but I had to let it go and really enjoy the moment, enjoy the things that are happening to us, not know what will happen.
Yeah.
That's
letting go of control, right?
Scary. Yes.
Scary.
That's a big, big benefit of being with a man who is adult, and who is there for you, and who is fulfilled with himself, but he's there for you because you are his pleasure too.
Oh yes, definitely.
So we were talking about like everything fall apart, and then
and then so everything fell apart, and actually that was what needed to happen. I actually needed to get to a stage where I was completely on the floor, left with nothing, because sometimes we need to be there to wake up.
Yes.
I needed to be, really on the floor. I had nothing. I was in a foreign country, no social network support, I actually had just a couple of friends, and then one of them left. I just dropped off. So I had nothing. And then I attended that event in London by Catherine Woodward Thomas, and I was training for a few months, and I was terribly scared still, because my intention was, I'm finding the one by the end of the year. So I started the training in August, but it was like literally 27th, I think, of December. It's like, okay, Ag, now you really need to download Tinder on your mobile, because I was literally so focused on the training, but it was an excuse. I was still very fearful because I had all these past terrible experiences with men. I was deep down scared. So I still remember I was sitting in a cafe. It was the 27th, I think, of December. My hands were shaking, and it took me 2 days to craft my profile. And my friend Sarah was really like giving me nudges. You don't have to do anything at first. You just put it out there.
It is so easy.
It's so easy. And she did a great job, because eventually I did put it, I did upload my profile on Tinder with that shaky hand. And it didn't happen straight away, because I had a couple of test men who I needed to experience, where I still needed to, like, you know, polish certain skills, especially
Practice.
my voice. Practice. So that's exactly why we get mismatches, because we need to practice certain things.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it was exactly 6 weeks since I downloaded Tinder, I met my current partner.
So it wasn't the mismatch, it was exactly the necessary practice. The universe sends you the lessons, the tasks.
Yes.
And you experienced what you don't want.
Yeah.
You probably grasp the nudges what you want, what you are attracted to.
Yes.
And then when you
Totally.
the one,
Actually, I knew what I wanted, but what I didn't know and what I had to still learn was to activate my voice and to say, I don't like this. I don't agree with this.
okay, yeah.
This doesn't work for me. That was the biggest issue.
I think, yeah, because we are brought in a way that we are good girls and we accept everything that comes to us, and we are not vocal about what we don't want and don't like. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah. So I first brought in 2 men who, excuse me, really pushed my buttons, and those buttons needed to be pushed. So I became basically very angry, and that anger catapulted me into being able to say what I thought. Then I closed those two, they were not even relationships, they were dates. I closed those 2 encounters, right, with men. And then as soon as the path was energetically clear, because I said, no, these 2 don't work for me. So energetically, you send a signal.
Close the door.
I'm not open to this. I'm not open to tolerating this. That's a no-no. The path was totally clear, and it took literally 6 weeks, and I met the right one, and then it went really quickly. And to be honest, it was the first relationship in my life where I'm with a man who really puts me first. Really puts me first. My feelings really mattered to him, and we went on a date. It was the first month, and I was shocked when he said it. He said, because I've got I'm an empath, and I've got this massive sound sensitivity, and he said, you know what, I said, I've always wanted to have like a separate space away from home, to be in a quiet space. And he said, I can do that for you easily. I can convert that space that's in the garden next to the garage. I can convert it into a room for you. And
we were only dating, right?
We were dating. It was the first month. Literally, it was the first month. And
amazing.
So when a man, like your man, right? When a man knows what he wants you, he will be making future plans, and he will be associating you and him with future plans. And
he was serious. I mean,
he was serious. Yeah.
My husband was serious from day one. He met me.
Yeah.
And I think that this is what you are talking about. He, even though you were dating for 1 month only, he saw you already as his partner, wife, whoever. I mean, for me, wife and man are wife and husband are not necessarily the formal words.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, my husband, he's my husband for 8 years, but we are together for 20 right now. So he told me, I mean, even after 5 years, he told me, I feel like your husband already.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. Unfortunately, for many,
Yeah.
many years.
Yes.
You know? But he said, I'm your husband. In my mind, I'm your husband.
Yeah. And I think this is what happens when you attract the right person.
Mm. Yeah.
There's like no tension, no resistance from the man at all. It's literally flowing. It just happens. It just happens.
Tell me about the being single, because what I hear, from my friends usually, that you need to be single really to know what you want, not to be under influence of any other people. And to be honest, I don't have this experience
Mm. Mm.
because I was the lucky one that I had, from early kindergarten. I was always having like two adorators, always two.
Okay. So you've never actually been single?
I haven't been single.
Wow.
I haven't been
Interesting.
single. And something that we always have a chat with my girlfriends. It's like, oh, you haven't been single, so you don't know what you want. I'm telling them, I know perfectly what I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was possible
Yeah.
only with my husband.
Yeah.
Because I could, as you are saying, I could evoke myself, express myself fully with him. I would probably need it
Mm.
if he was not in my
Mm.
life. I would need the time to be single, to and different situation and experience
Mm.
like you had with your Tinder guys, to experience what I don't want. And
Yeah.
but it happened to me in a different way. The universe is
Yeah.
sending you
Yeah.
lessons that you are able to,
The right experience.
to
Yeah.
take. So that was
Yeah.
my lesson, and
Mm.
I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah. So I think that just shows, that there is no formula that you have to be single.
This is something, that I have learned in early, I don't know, we were probably maybe 2 years together, and I was still, under
Mm-hmm.
different shifts. And I found the book that opened me for the love and relationships. The motto of this book was that every love is different. There is no one
Yeah.
pattern that
Yeah.
fits
Yeah.
everybody. And the love stories that you see on the TV, in the movies, are not necessarily, real. It could happen,
Mm.
but everybody has a different story, different
Mm.
interaction. And
Mm.
when I understood that I don't have to be like somebody else,
Mm.
everything changed.
So the pressure went away.
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
Mm. So true. Yeah. Yeah. It is different, and it's different probably with every person as well, right? I think what's important, like answering your question, what's important is to find a way to get to know yourself, whether it's being single or through other people. Because, on my journey, I was actually meeting other men, and that was really helpful. But, that was these two experiences before I met my partner. These already happened when I knew the tools
Right.
around energy, relationship work, energy, how energetics works in relationships. So I knew how to decode them.
And you were not afraid to use them.
And I was not afraid to use them, right? So if you couple the two, that's why what I actually suggest to my my ladies when when they are on the program or one-on-one with me, I actually suggest it's actually best whilst they're working with me to go out and date. No pressure. It's not to find the one straight away. It's actually mostly to bring the necessary experiences. So you bring it into the session with me, and all of your needs, all the tweaks that need to be done, they will come out instantly. Instantly, they will come out. So that actually accelerates our work. So from this perspective, I would say yes, it's good to date, but that perspective includes, the support, like feedback you can get from someone else, so you can tweak what needs tweaking.
But then it takes, I guess it takes some level of detachment, because Um, I assume that, you know, when we go to the date, we have certain expectations, and the
Yeah,
pressure is there that
yeah,
maybe we will meet the prince, and maybe
yeah.
maybe we will have
Ah,
kids
yeah.
and everything. So we
Yes.
have to, yes, we have to release ourselves from all of that. But tell me, how do you work with your clients? Because you mentioned the group or individual. What is the
Yeah.
best actually?
Yeah. So do you know what, Maggie? I don't do any like big group coaching programs because it doesn't work for me. So because I'm the kind of person who likes a lot of attention to detail. I think change comes from a lot of focus on the person, and I like to get to the nitty-gritty
Mhm.
and tease out because I believe the devil is in the detail. So I do still work with clients one-on-one. But mostly I've got masterminds for very small groups of women. And for example, the current mastermind I've got is unusual because that entails like one-on-one work and a little bit of group work. So you get both.
Ah, that's an amazing
Yeah,
combination.
yeah, yeah. I wanted actually that, and I can see, like, I just didn't want to let go of that one-on-one, like, completely. I thought, no, no. Plus, there are parts of this work where you really need to work with I think, with the person really intimately.
Yeah, because there are
Yeah,
specific way of thinking, the baggage
yeah,
from the past, right? You have to
yes,
leave
totally,
a lot of stuff
totally.
sometimes.
So, but having said that, I also have, that's my signature program. It's only 2 months. It's actually coming out soon. It's only 2 months. And the first time I ran it, I had literally a handful of women, and they didn't have any one-on-one. And we were working together in a group setting in a Facebook. And most of them actually by now are super happy when it comes to love life. It works, right?
It
So
does, it does.
yeah,
Yes.
but
And
I
everything is
do
ahead.
love small groups. I must say, I do love to, work with small groups
Yeah.
or one-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about this energetic blocks, because you promised us to talk about some
Oh yeah.
energetic blocks
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
most of your clients, when you start working with them,
Yeah,
have.
yeah. So I will talk about the concept that is one of the first concepts that I teach on all of my programs and with one-on-one clients. So first, we need to really uninstall from our thinking system the notion that I cannot have love because of. I cannot have love because of. And there will be a whole array of external reasons. Because in my previous experiences, men have only hurt me. Because my experience of the dating, contemporary dating scene is appalling. Because my parents messed me up in childhood, because I'm 55 or 65, because I'm not the right weight, because I am a single mom with kids. Who will want that baggage?
Mhm.
All of these are untrue, and all of these, I would call them external reasons. So what we actually can have does not depend at all on any of these external reasons. And I gave a lot of them on purpose because they are very common.
So these are
Okay.
like unhealthy beliefs, simply.
These are unhealthy beliefs, but there's more to it than that. These are unhealthy beliefs in that they are not true, they are false. So
True.
they're basically lies we believe in,
Yeah.
which is pretty much understandable for us humans because we tend to think that we can only have what we have experienced so far. We find it very hard to imagine we can have something we have never experienced,
True.
right? So
Yes.
what we're talking about here is birthing a miracle. And
Mhm.
to us humans, it's really hard to understand. Even if some people are watching us right now, they might be thinking, yeah, fine, but
They are
yeah,
the lucky ones.
yeah, yeah, they're
It happened.
exactly spot on. And the truth is, a few years back, I was watching all those love relationship coaches, and I had some gurus, and I was thinking, that's wonderful. And deep down, I believe, but there's something special about her. And now I'm in that seat, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So no, there is nothing special about you, me, or anyone else. I mean, there is something special, which is that we actually can create what we
This is
want.
the conscious creation, basically.
The conscious creation, the conscious creation. But also there is another element of that, you know, I cannot have it because.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of, in a way, put the blame on external circumstances. What it does energetically, and it's actually very important, what it does energetically is that you are giving up on your own power to create what you want, and you're putting it in the hands of the dating scene, your parents, your exes, etc., etc. Which means that what you end up with is the position of, I call it victim.
Yeah.
It might sound terrible, but it's a so-called victim consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So victim consciousness is when things, horrible stuff happens to me. It just comes and happens to me. It happens to me. And and some of these are really nuances, really nuances.
You are passive. You are passive.
Yeah, I'm receiving the bad stuff happens to me.
The best stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I can't find a man because I live in a small city.
Yeah.
There are no men around. Or it's ridiculous because I heard the statement, and in this ridiculous, funny in a way. In the same week, I heard another woman say, I can't find a man because I live in, I think it was New York, and it's a big city. Right? And everybody is too rushed to stress.
From my girlfriends was that there are no good men of a certain quality. There is no good man for me. And I said, how many do you need?
Ha!
That there is no
Yes.
one there?
Yeah. I just had a client who was in this kind of, she fell into this victim position. Do you know what was happening? It was really interesting to watch. So she kind of created that belief. And she's beautiful, she's accomplished, educated, etc. She created the same belief, like there is not a single man out there for me. Why? Because when I look on the website that I'm signed on, the dating website, all those candidates are terrible. So what I did, it was a fascinating experience. What I did was, okay, let's go and actually share the screen and see what's happening there. And what happened was, we actually looked at every single profile she showed to me. And it turned out that she was actually turning down potentially good matches.
Yeah.
She was finding faults in them. And after that, because he's a gardener, right? And I'm educated, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean anything that he's a gardener. He could be a guy who treats you like a queen, and he might even have a degree, and you might have the most fascinating conversations. Yeah.
Maybe mother was putting, in the head, like, oh, you need to have a man on the certain standard.
Yeah. So she was tripping herself on her own requirements, and she could not literally see.
Yeah.
So after that session, I saw a different woman. She's like, I'm fine, actually. I'm totally sure I can find the right man. The hopelessness was gone. Because she said, I could see things from your perspective. So she actually needed that very exercise. We are looking at those profiles together. Right? Amazing. That was pretty amazing. Oh my gosh, that was so amazing.
So tell me, how long does this experience take?
Do you mean the whole process?
Yes. Is it like 2 months, 6 months, a year?
Yeah, I wanted to say it's very difficult, because obviously it's not a process like, you go to Tesco's, you want this chocolate and someone gives you the chocolate, you pay £5, right? It's a very individual process, because we're working on someone's consciousness, belief system, energetics. We're working on several elements. If you ask me about the duration of the process, when I'm thinking of programs, so for example, the program I'm opening right now is 2 months.
2 months.
And I've had women from the last batch of, people who attended. So half of them are in relationships right now already. And most of them have got this kind of feeling, I don't have any hopelessness, right?
Yeah, because you always have the results. when I work with clients,
Yeah.
it's like majority of them have instant results, but
Yeah.
also there is a part who have different kind of results. They are like
Yes.
intangible results. There are learnings,
Yes.
opening,
Yes.
consciousness. They might not still attract the clients, but they are in a completely different place
Yeah.
while attracting, while
Yeah.
preparing the offers,
Totally.
relaxed
Totally.
when being visible, etc. So I guess
Yeah.
it's similar when you are working with clients, that you
Yeah.
are opening. It depends on what part of journey your client was when you met, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But do you know what, Maggie? Also, having said all that, my estimate, I do give an estimate. If you really have decided, I'm going to do anything it takes, and if you follow everything, it usually takes anything between a few weeks and a few months,
Right.
and definitely under a year.
And you said that you are working only with women.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the choice. I work
Yes.
only with women too.
Yes, I opened actually doors to men with I ran a challenge that was a while back, and it was open to men, and I didn't find they were engaging. So actually the current program, there is one man there who already signed up a long time ago for this program, but it looks like he'll be the only
It
man.
could be interesting, to match the two.
Exactly, that was I was hoping for, but they were not really that interactive in the challenge I ran once. Maybe because they felt overwhelmed by all the ladies in the group, you know?
Maybe single ladies could be dangerous.
Yes. But also, yeah, I think there are reasons why they were not interactive, there might have been several reasons. Yeah.
All right. So you mentioned that you are running right now the challenge. You have started that.
Yeah, I actually the challenge has it's a free course basically. It's a free 3-day course, and it's already there. It's ready. It's still available. So it's totally free and available. So if any of the ladies would like to still take advantage of this short course, it's called Attract an Emotionally Available Partner, because that's the biggest issue usually, right? Women say, I can't find an emotionally available man, right? So we bust all those myths, and it's not long, I created this course so that you start to get an idea what it really takes to attract that kind of a man.
Amazing. So
So
how can we put our hands on your course?
yeah, so what I'll do is I will actually, if someone is interested, just please write in the comment interested,
Okay.
and I will send you a link because yeah, I was creating a link with my partner. He's my big IT support, by the way. I can't run my business without him. And he had to go to court, and now he's back. So he said, honey, I can help you. So he'll help me now actually finish that link so I can pass it on to you ladies. And when you click, you can sign up, and that will take you directly to the 3 training days. So you don't have to look for it everywhere in my group. So
Okay.
you'll find, you'll be in my group, and this week I'm still able to coach you on your answers. And those of you, there's a bonus as well, because those of you who complete the 3-day course can actually claim a bonus training as well, which is called the Heart Connection, Discover Your Magic Powers Over a Man. So the Heart Connection actually is about how we connect with our feelings and express them, language them in such a way that you can connect with a man through your heart, rather than, the thing.
From your mind.
Yes, yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great offer. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're
We'll
welcome.
certainly encourage women to give a hashtag I'm interested simply.
Just, I'm interested. I will be in the group today. I'll be checking, and tomorrow, and I will be sending the link to everybody who says I'm interested.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
And just to conclude, because we were talking about a lot of stuff and relationship and love, and I can speak about this topic the whole day actually. But I think that we need to wrap it up. So since in Fearless, Unstoppable, Prosperous, there are many women who are online entrepreneurs and many women who are just starting their online business. And we both are running the online business. So I wanted to ask you about your own like personal journey and the words of wisdom, really, because you are in the online world already some time, and you built up prosperous business from being in Sweden, paying your little apartment from the tax money. What does it take really to become successful?
Yeah. So my biggest learning, because I was kind of playing for a long time. I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I was holding on to my therapy job and I was not happy with it for many reasons. Like there was too much admin and I hate having a boss. But I never actually was treating my business, the relationship work I do seriously enough to focus only on that. I needed to let go of the fear, and in a way, what I created subconsciously was that I sabotaged my psychotherapy job, and I was fired because I wasn't filling in certain.
You attracted the.
Honestly, I knew why it happened. It was so fascinating to see. I was basically not submitting certain administrative documents.
Subconsciously.
Because I really don't like that, and for that reason they said sorry, and I felt scared, but at the same time I felt thrilled. So that's how it all started. And then what I did, the next thing was I actually had a coach. I've had several coaches. Business, I still have a personal business consultant, and I would say always invest in a good coach. The one that you tap into, whose energy you can tap into. It's so important. That there, that your like gut instinct says like, yeah, that's the right person for me. And at the time I met someone who, I'm no longer with her and I wouldn't, but at the time she was the right person. And basically I did a challenge and I stopped caring about details. I just put it out there and I promoted and I was active. And actually my business properly started under COVID.
Yeah.
And I don't even discuss COVID. I think this is such an excuse. Like people don't have money. Nonsense. This was my first launch. Maggie was actually a few thousand launch straight away. So it's all here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying this because we have put all these ideas in our minds. COVID, no, and I can't, reach out to this person. We just have to take the actions and
people. There is always enough people for you who have needs and to fulfill this need. People have money for their priorities.
Yeah. And the consciousness, like what we were talking about earlier, where our consciousness is, that's from where we create. This is really from where we create.
Either from the place of emptiness and lack, or the place what is the abundance, the richness, the joy. I like to create from the place of pleasure and joy, yes.
But also, I know that because we both work with Lenka, right? And she's like the energy queen. And it's really all energy work. I really believe it's energy work. Yeah. Totally energy work. So you can have like the perfect systems, funnels, and this is going to bring mediocre results if the energetics is not there.
Activated. You have to activate.
Yeah, it has to be activated. It has to be activated. Okay. Yeah.
That's a very nice conclusion. So thank you very much for being
welcome
with us. And thank you, ladies, for watching us. We are going to wish you a wonderful weekend. And yes, have a look on the give us a note whether you want Agnieszka's busting the blocks of the emotionally available men. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.